Hey guys, welcome back to the Wild Wrestling Channel. I am your host, Seth. Today I have an interesting video for you guys. I'm going to be sharing who I think should be the next Paul Heyman guy. So let's hop right into it. Enjoy this new intro. The first guy that I think can fit this role is definitely Drew McIntyre. Some people have been speculating that this could happen. Well, not like speculating at this moment, but I've seen a little bit ago some theories, like it was like some what ifs, you could say, that Drew McIntyre became the Paul Heyman guy. But in my opinion, it's definitely possible. Drew McIntyre with his new heel character is proving to just be a beast, a force, to already crushes it on the mic, so I don't think he's going to be like a Brock Lesnar. Do you think he's going to be more like kind of Roman Reigns? Roman Reigns did talk a little bit more than Brock Lesnar did, and I think that's going to be the same thing with Drew McIntyre. I think he will talk a little bit more because he cuts great promos, and I think he will just be like Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, just probably similar to Brock Lesnar because he'll be by himself, just be a force, a reckoning force with Paul Heyman by his side. If Drew McIntyre works with Paul Heyman, he will definitely be such a beast that I think it's going to get even deeper into his heel character, because right now he's playing a heel, but he is a little more like talkity, jokey type heel. I feel like with Paul Heyman, he would be that heel, but he'd be like a locked-in heel. He would just be a monster. He would really become the Scottish psychopath again, and he would just be mauling through people with claymores and be beating people half to death until he probably wins the world title and will rule Monday Night Raw, in my opinion, with Paul Heyman. Next up is Braun Breaker. I definitely think Braun Breaker is another one of those big guys that people think should be the next Paul Heyman guy. He would be like OG Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. He'd be the next big thing that Paul Heyman is bringing up to the ranks. He would bring that ferocity that Braun Breaker does. I mean that Brock Lesnar does. See, Braun Breaker is just a beast. He would definitely bring that velocity and just be spearing dudes in the ribs, killing people, stuff like that. This is where, I think with Paul Heyman, he would be that dominant world champion, just be wrecking everyone. Like how Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman had that 500-day Universal title reign. I think he could have a long title reign with Paul Heyman by his side. So Braun Breaker is definitely one of the next candidates, in my opinion, to be Paul Heyman guy. To think, back in NXT, Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman did have that interaction when Paul Heyman was in Braun Breaker's corner when he faced Carmelo Hayes, and John Cena was in Carmelo Hayes' corner back in NXT. So now I think it is time they could reunite, become this dominant force together, and tear apart Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. Next person I think is Mr. CM Punk. You better look in his eyes, because he's telling me that he is going to be the next Paul Heyman guy with this favor. If you did just see my WrestleMania 41 match card predictions, I said in the triple threat, the favor is going to be Paul Heyman turning on Reigns and aligning himself with Punk. I still think that is what is going to happen. I think Punk is going to align himself with Heyman there, and they are going to rule. And I think definitely this year Punk could win the world title with Paul Heyman by his side. Did they go on that reign that Punk had with the WWE title back in 2013 and 2012? So I feel like just two old buddies reunited and tearing roughshod across this modern WWE. Punk winning the world title along with Heyman would just be incredible for Punk. Possibly it would be at next WrestleMania, and maybe he'll finally get the Royal Rumble victory in 2026, because a lot of people want him to do that, and I feel like a big finale would be him main eventing WrestleMania and winning a world title. So possibly 2026, he wins the Royal Rumble and main events WrestleMania, and that's where he wins the world title with Paul Heyman by his side. Just two amazing friends about to tear rough shop with WWE. Next person is a little interesting one. I think AJ Styles could possibly be the next Paul Heyman guy. What I mean by this is that AJ Styles just returned. He got kind of his old gimmick back, and I like that gimmick more than the new heel one he was kind of rocking. There's still room for him to turn heel, though, and I don't really know. Paul Heyman is known for being a heel manager, especially when he starts to work with new clients. So I definitely think if he aligned himself with AJ will turn heel, but almost like his 2016 SmackDown Live heel run. He's kind of the same as he is now, but just in the heel form, being the face that runs the place, the best. SmackDown or Raw would be the house that AJ Styles built. Just that gimmick again, but this time with the managership of Paul Heyman, who will guide AJ to success on either Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. If AJ Styles ends up working with Paul Heyman, I don't know when they would align. My guess is sometime after Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, if they're going to be kind of closer now. I definitely think if they did align, it would be closer because AJ doesn't have a lot of time left in his career. And that would be one of the best things for AJ to end off his career with, winning a world title with the best manager in wrestling history by his side as he dominates either SmackDown or Raw, runs roughshop, and will end off his career on top. And then Paul Heyman can go searching for the next Paul Heyman guy as AJ Styles retires on top. I've been saying that a lot. On top, and possibly become a WWE Hall of Famer. And the last person is really interesting because instead of a Paul Heyman guy, we're going to go with a Paul Heyman girl. That's right, I think Jordynne Grace is a possible person to be the next Paul Heyman girl. She is probably one of the powerhouses of the women's division, and just like the men, she would be person tearing roughshop across the women's division with her power, dominating everyone, and possibly leading her to her first world title in WWE. This would be different because I don't think we really get to see her heel. Like, we never really saw her here in Impact, heel and Impact in TNA, but now that she's in WWE, it's possible if she aligns herself with Paul Heyman, she would turn heel, dominate the women's division, win world titles, main event WrestleManias, win Royal Rumbles, win a bunch of belts. She would become a successful woman in WWE. And she's still very young, in my opinion, so she still has a lot of room to win a lot of titles here now that she is in WWE. This would be a very interesting one to see Paul Heyman work with a woman instead of a man. And this would be, I feel like it would just, like I'm saying, just be the same type of thing. It would be just a great manager with a dominant force by his side. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. Tell me if you guys liked this video in the comments. Tell me if you also like that new intro. I think I want to start doing it in my videos. And have a good day, guys.